Hello, this is Andrew Undem with episode 40 of the Sure Sales Group show, and today I talk with the real estate CPA. Here on the show, we talk about real estate, sales, negotiation, marketing, entrepreneurship, buying, selling, renting, investing, and what it's taken us to grow from 2 employees to 20, from 30 million in sales to 130 million in sales in the last few years. Thanks for watching. So before I jump into the Zoom interview I did with Brandon Hall, who is an absolute stud and a thought leader and just a kick-ass CPA in the real estate space, I want to invite you to check out his website, therealestatecpa.com. And he puts out a ton of content on how to maximize your earnings and keep your income, whether you're buying, selling, particularly investing in real estate. So Brandon has helped me out a ton. He's always available to answer questions. And the coolest thing about his firm is they're all virtual. So go to their website, ask a question, sign up for their newsletter, check out his podcast, and they can help you save tens and tens of thousands of dollars from your couch if you just give them the information that they need to reduce your tax liability. So we're gonna go over mortgage interest deductions, what's going on with the state and local taxes, just some basic important stuff that just finally got finalized under the new tax bill. Hope you find some value in it. It's pretty basic, but I'll also attach the 10-page nitty-gritty breakdown from the Real Estate CPA's website, so you can take a look at that. And there's even a link to the 1,097-page tax bill document that I'm sure no one cares about, which is why we are boiling it down for you here today. Enjoy. All right, so today I have a phenomenal guest, Brandon Hall, the owner and operator of a real estate CPA firm. Brandon, thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew, for having me on.
So the reason I asked Brandon to come on the show is he is a CPA, of course, and he's a real estate expert. And as the dust settled around this tax legislation, I wanted Brandon, an expert who all he does is look at this stuff, to kind of break down some of the key components. So if you're a first-time home buyer, or you own multiple properties, or you're thinking about selling a house, what does this mean for you? But before I do that, Brandon, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your company that's kind of lighting the world on fire right now?
Yeah, so we are a virtual CPA firm. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we have 6 employees. They're spread out throughout the U.S. We don't have a central office, and we work with only real estate investors or people that are like running real estate businesses. So agents, brokers, builders, developers, syndicates, those types of folks. But yeah, the one commonality between and everybody that's in our client base, the one commonality is real estate, which is really cool because, you know, we provide tax advice and accounting advice, but because we only work with real estate folks, we can also identify different opportunities and put people in touch with each other. So like, you know, one of our clients goes to raise money on a 200-unit apartment complex. We can put other clients who have the money to place. We can make that introduction, and now we have 2 happy clients. So,
yeah, it's awesome. And you've been kind of an influencer, I'd say, especially on LinkedIn. So we'll definitely link up your profile here. But Brandon's always putting out content, and it's engaging, and it makes sense to think about how you're doing your tax prep, your accounting. And just basic entrepreneurship too, because you've essentially grown a company virtually, which is, especially in the CPA world, I imagine that's faux pas. People don't do that.
Yeah, no, not as fast. I mean, not as humbly as I can. Nobody's grown a firm, at least that I know of, as fast as we've grown it. But we hit the content hard, and we try to be, like you said, those thought leaders as often as we can.
Yeah, and I know you've helped me out a lot, and we work together. Brandon and I were fortunate enough to work on a deal where Brandon purchased a multi-unit building in the Baltimore, Maryland area without getting into the thick of it, I guess 2 to 3 years ago. And that's how I met him. You've helped me out a lot, pro bono, just asking questions. Hey, should I change my corporate structure to an S structure? Because everyone, especially me, I want to pay as little taxes as possible. I'm not trying to cheat. I'm just trying to pay as little as possible.
Right. Yeah. As long as you can legally pay as little as possible, there's no cheating involved.
Yeah. Legally is the key word.
Legally
pay as little as possible. So, you know, the stuff inside and out. You put together, I believe, a 12-page debrief of everything that this new tax legislation covered. But just for the audience and the bullet points, Let's talk about the big ones. What are the big things that changed that you think everyone should know and that people are going to be talking about for decades moving forward, assuming nothing else changes?
Yeah, so there's a lot of changes that are going to affect everybody. The couple of changes that will definitely affect everybody are the mortgage interest deduction and then the state and local taxes.
Right.
So, mortgage interest deduction. Actually, there weren't a ton of changes there. What happened is they moved it down from a $1 million cap to 750. But the big change is going to be the state and local tax deduction, and that's the change that's hitting a lot of our clients really hard. So we have clients that are in California, New Jersey, New York, these high tax states, not only high income tax, but also high property tax. And that's what's really hurting them is the state and local tax deduction. So what happened was previously you could itemize your state income taxes that you pay to your state. You could also itemize the property taxes that you pay on your primary and secondary residences, generally without limits. And what this new reform has done is it's limited all of that combined to $10,000. So, if you're in New Jersey, your property taxes alone can hit $10,000, and now you can't deduct your income taxes that you pay to the state because your property taxes already hit that $10,000 cap.
Yeah, so that's a big problem in Maryland too. I think our state is around 8%, somewhere in there. Do you know what Maryland is off the top of your head, or is it bracketed?
In income tax, I think it's around 5.5. But property tax, I'm not 100% sure. I do know that looking at my 3-unit property that I purchased with you, if I was living in it, I would have a problem. But since it's a rental, there's no problem. So that's another thing that we've been trying to explain to people is that these limits only apply to Schedule A, which is your itemized deductions, and that's your primary residence and secondary residence. It's not going to affect rental property. It's not going to affect business property.
Gotcha. So the SALT is the big one. I agree. You can only write off $10,000 off of your state income tax plus your state and local property taxes. Now,
Yes.
in Baltimore City, where we do a lot of business, the property taxes are really high. So easy to hit that cap if you're living there in your primary residence. So I believe that will hit a lot of people. But before we dive further into SALT, you mentioned the mortgage interest tax deduction changed from 1 million to 750. Just pull that apart for the layman. What's that even mean?
Yeah, it's on new acquisition debt. So you can go and acquire a home. I think you can acquire a $1 million home, put 25% down, get a $750K loan, and you can deduct the interest. If you acquire a $1.2 million home and you put $200K down, so you have a $1 million note, you can only deduct the first $750K in interest.
So it's only on new debt though.
New acquisition debt, yeah.
So everyone who owns property, they're good, you're grandfathered in?
Well, we're waiting. So yes, but we're waiting on the IRS temporary regulations to come out to really tell us how that's going to be broken down.
Okay, yeah, because that would suck if you bought this huge house thinking you're going to get all these write-offs and they just take them away.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, that's not that big of a deal because if you're buying $1 million, if you're taking on $1 million in debt or 750, $750,000 in debt, you're probably not extra concerned about the little bit of savings you get from a write-off. So that one, I don't think that has a big impact. State and local taxes should have a big impact. And I've been reading some national news media, and I like two different guys to get different sides of the coin here. And I'll give you their names. You probably heard of them. Mark Zandi from Moody's Analytics.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks it's going to have a decent impact. And then you also have Bill McBride of Calculated Risk. And I'll put those links up somewhere. So Bill McBride, Mark Zandi, they kind of have opposing views, but no one actually knows what's going to happen at this point in terms of the actual impact. But I think here in the greater Baltimore area, that state and local tax will impact some people from buying a big ass house.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And we're not 100% sure either how it's going to be impacted. I mean, we've seen all the analytics. So there's definitely a lot of doom and gloom analysis out there. I would say that I think that you will see people start to house hack their homes. So like live in one room, but then rent out the other rooms in your home. Because at that point, the property taxes, you allocate that between your personal space and then the rental space. So I think that you'll see a lot more of these like live-in roommate type situations. And then I think that you might even see like the landlord market pick up because people are going to be moving more towards, people want to own real estate. Real estate has historically been a solid investment. So you'll see that because there's no limit there with the itemized deductions, because it only applies to your primary residence and secondary home.
So there's absolutely zero negative impact on landlords and people who just invest in real estate.
Landlords actually got a really solid, they're going to get a nice boon.
What's the boon?
Okay, without jumping into like insane details and trying to keep it high level, there is a pass-through deduction that is now available to sole proprietors and entities that are not C corporations. So the C corporation tax rate dropped to 21%, flat tax. And the thought is, if the C corp tax rate drops to 21%, we also have to give every other business owner that's not a C corporation some sort of benefit. Otherwise, everybody's just going to switch over to C corp, because there's not going to be a reason to do anything else. So what came of that was a pass-through deduction that is going to benefit a lot of business owners and almost every real estate investor out there. So the way that it works is it's a 20% deduction on the net income generated from your business or rental real estate activities, as long as you are below, your taxable income is below $157,500 if you're single, or $315,000 if you're married. So if you're a broker and you net $400,000, then you don't necessarily qualify for the 20% deduction. But if you're a broker and you net $300,000 in your business, then you get a $60,000 tax deduction right off of the business income. It's awesome. On the rental real estate side, if we have rental income, this is after depreciation. So that's what makes it a little bit tricky, because normally we have depreciation at play and we have passive losses. But if we have rental property that's showing passive income, then we're going to get a 20% deduction on that. Or if we don't get a 20% deduction on that because we're above those thresholds that I mentioned, that 157.5 and then the 315, if we're above that, then we get a 2.5% deduction on the unadjusted basis of the property. And the unadjusted basis of the property is the value without the land. So if I buy a $100,000 property, my unadjusted basis might be $90,000 because the land might be $10K. So now you compare those two deductions. So the 20% deduction versus that 2.5% deduction on the unadjusted basis, which one is less, you take that deduction. But basically it's just a free deduction that's now given to business owners and real estate investors. And that's why a lot of people are going to see these boons. It is going to take a little bit of structuring technique. So right now we're waiting on the IRS regulations, the temporary regulations, to come out and basically tell us, do we aggregate the rental properties together? So like if I have one property that loses $10,000 and another property that makes $10,000, do I aggregate those together to create zero net income? Because if we do, then I can't take any sort of deduction,
right? Because
there's no income. And if that is the case, can I take the rental that is producing income and put that into an LLC? And then the LLC qualifies for that 20% deduction. And so that's what we're trying to figure out right now, is how exactly is the IRS going to interpret this and release regulations, and what is the procedure going to be there?
So I followed that. And I know most people are probably like, what the hell did he just say? I need to hire an accountant. If you're thinking about getting into real estate, or if you already are, but you're not sure you're maximizing your federally given legal right, you need to talk to someone like Brandon, because that's all these guys do. So as you can tell, he's an expert. He pulled that whole thing apart. And even if you're married and you're making over 315K net, they even give you, which is amazing that they're doing this. If you can't even claim these 20% deductions, they're still going to give you a 2.5% after adjustments, pardon my non-CPA jargon. They're still going to give you an ability to come in and reduce your tax liability.
Yeah. And there's so many things that we can do too. Like, I know that this sounds self-serving, but literally everybody listening to this, if you run a business or you have rental real estate, this year is the year to get a solid CPA, and you should start planning now for these types of things. Because like our business owners, if they're netting, let's say 350K, well, we want to structure the business so that we can put 55K into a solo 401K. That drops below the 315K mark. Now we get not only the 55K deduction into our solo 401K, but now we get to qualify for that $60,000 deduction on our net income because we've dropped below that 315K threshold. So there's like a lot of it's going to be just a lot of posturing. I keep calling it posturing. It's just a lot of like moving money around in order to show that on our return we're below these thresholds so that we can take that 20% deduction without regard to any limitation.
Hey, you have to play the game. Like in this country, like I'm a newer business owner, much like yourself. I kind of get frustrated that they make it so complex. But hey, you got to play the game. And if you're not willing to play the game, you're just going to end up paying a lot more than you have to.
Yeah.
So how should people reach out to you? What's your preferred method of taking on inquiries?
Yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm on there all the time. And if you especially don't like the corporate environment, you'll find some of my posts pretty intriguing. So connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also find us at therealestatecpa.com. Sorry, that's www.therealestatecpa.com. And if you're interested in becoming a client, you can fill out a web form and we'll be in touch.
The one thing I got to say is I love the way you guys do business because it's all virtual and it makes it so easy. I literally fill out a form. You ask me all these questions. I show you all my stuff. And I'm probably like an ideal candidate. I have some other CPAs going on because we have other businesses. But if all I did was buy and sell real estate and hold real estate, you're like the only choice because the cost structure is much lower. I'm like fractions, I'd say. I know you're not a discount guy, but the big four where you came from, they're billing like $1,000 an hour sometimes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're able to come in underneath that. And because we're virtual, so we literally don't have a paperwork flow at all anywhere in our business. Everything is virtual. And because of that, we're able to automate a lot. And when you automate, you save on overhead. So we're able to pass those benefits back to our clients.
Yeah, I love that. There's enough paperwork in real estate still. I'm not sure if that's ever going away. But I love the fact that it's automated and you're getting the big four type of knowledge. You came from EY and built it out from there. So how many clients do you guys currently have?
As of today, we have 256.
And how many are you able, if we wanted to double that, could you handle that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This guy's ready to handle your CPA needs. Well, Brandon, I just wanted to go over the big ones. Mortgage interest deduction, which wasn't a big change, the state and local tax. Is there anything else you think a first-time home buyer should be aware of, or someone who's thinking about selling their home should be thinking about right now?
Yeah, so there was one potential change that ended up not changing, and it freaked a lot of our clients out, and that was the Section 121 exclusion. And it's commonly referred to as the capital gain exclusion. So if I live in a property as a primary residence for 2 years and then I sell it, I can exclude up to $250,000 of capital gain or $500K if I'm married. The original proposals, they had changed it to say you now have to live there for 5 years rather than 2 years. And it was really going to hurt a lot of people. So they ended up scrapping it and taking it out. So there was actually no change there, but just in case anybody was wondering if that actually changed, we've gotten a lot of questions on if it's actually changed. It has not changed, so you're good to go. 2 years, sell it, and then you can exclude $250K or $500 if you're married.
Yeah, and there's certain things that you can impact and certain things you can't. Like, hey, you're not going to, okay, the mortgage interest deduction is what it is now. The state and local taxes, it is what it is, unless, some of these states end up changing some things state by state. But what you can do is plan and talk to someone who knows. And Brandon, I appreciate your unbelievably valuable time sharing that with me today. If you don't mind, I'm going to take your 12-page, really well done. It's actually 10 pages of exactly what each change was. And I'm going to share that, whether you're watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever you end up finding it. Therealestatecpa.com. Hall CPA, PLLC is the business. And Brandon, really appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm reading the document they put together about winners and losers, the winners of the tax bill and the losers of the tax bill, and why. And one thing about winners and losers, there's winners and losers, and you don't want to get caught on the wrong side of that line.